I want to set up a scenario where the military and the police have no choice but to execute Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton through proper process.
Through proper process, right. This is Pete Santilly. He's a right-wing, far-right extremist, Trump-supporting nutter butter of epic proportions. Now, if you're unfamiliar with him, I've covered him a few times, but we're going to talk about some of the things that he's been saying and doing lately because, oh boy, this guy is absolutely unglued from reality, especially now that Trump's been indicted with the documents case or whatever. 37 indictments were passed down not too long ago, and he is losing his mind over it right now. He lost his mind over Stormy Daniels. He's done. He's done now. His brain is cooked on conspiracy theories. So let's talk about him. Let's talk about what he believes, who he is, why we should care, and what he's said recently. Early August 2021, he gets on air with this woman, Deanna Lorraine. She's an ex-InfoWars correspondent, political commentator. And she ran for Congress. I think she got really close. Or maybe she was actually in Congress. I don't remember. Anyway, she goes on his show, Pete Santilly's show, to talk about the vaccine. And you can't help but laugh at this stuff. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's so ridiculous, it's funny. So just listen to this.
The people now that are learning more about the adverse impact of getting vaccinated.
There are no adverse impacts of getting vaccinated.
They're having regrets about it because we're hearing about this shedding that's going on, and
the vaccine shedding.
The shedding, and also
vaccines, some vaccines, certain types are capable of shedding. What that means is if you get a certain type of vaccine, it's possible that you're contagious with that condition and you could pass that condition on to other people. Years and years ago, there was a polio vaccine that was drinkable. It was a drinkable vaccine given orally. It was given out in some African country, I think maybe, or India. I don't remember where. Well, whoever created it, whoever formulated it, didn't completely kill the virus. So they isolated a bunch of polio viruses, and they were supposed to kill the active agents, the active virus particles in this solution, and then give it to people to drink so that the body can look at the DNA of the virus and create antibodies for it when it's safe because it's dead, right? Well, they didn't completely kill the virus. There were some active agents in there, and it led to a big mess. This is why you don't go cheap with vaccines. This is why you have to do it very carefully, do a lot of testing, take it very seriously. Quick interjection. I won't take long. I just wanted to tell you guys, YouTube's algorithm operates off of a few factors. Watch time, whether or not you subscribe, and whether or not you like something. So if you really want to help my channel, I would appreciate it if you guys watch the video to the end. If you don't watch it to the end, just watch a little bit longer than you would have otherwise. I would appreciate that very much. All right, let's get back to the video. The COVID vaccine, perfectly safe. That's what they're talking about right now. It was tested to oblivion. We know how safe the COVID vaccine is. Very. And on top of that, the COVID vaccine is not one that's capable of shedding. So that polio vaccine that was taken orally, people did shed polio with that one. So this saying exists, but not for this type of vaccine, not for mRNA vaccines. It's not possible to shed COVID with this type of vaccine. So they just live in a fantasy land. Now, they made a statement that took them 10 seconds to get out, and it took me, 3 minutes to explain why it was wrong? This is the problem with conspiracy theories. They light 10 fires in 15 seconds or less, and it takes me an hour to put them all out.
Shedding, and also the activation of the graphene oxide is actually sitting there dormant. But if
there is no graphene oxide in the vaccines. Never has been. This is just completely made up.
It's sitting there dormant, but if it gets energized by something like 5G, it actually kills all the cells around it. That is so crazy to me.
You know what? If it's crazy to you, maybe you should reevaluate it. If it sounds crazy when you repeat it to yourself, think about it critically instead of saying it to a gigantic audience of hundreds of thousands of people next time. Jesus Christ, dude. This guy is something else. 5G. I've had 5G on my phone for years. I had 5G on my phone when this clip came out, when he was talking about this. I lived in New York City, a market that got 5G early, and I had a newer iPhone. iPhone. I've had 5G this whole time, and I've been quadruple vaxxed, I believe. So I should have 4 times the amount of graphene oxide in my system, right? Why isn't the 5G killing me, like he said? Could it be that he just made all of this up entirely? Like I said, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. It's ridiculous.
That is so crazy to me. I mean, can you imagine if they just like activate and said, oh, all right, 1 million people are going to be gone, you know? Just by,
just God, dude, why? This is so crazy.
You know, just by energizing the graphene oxide.
And that's the thing. People don't really know exactly what's in it. You know.
Yes, we do. We know exactly what's in the vaccines. We have to know for allergy purposes. Vaccine experts, virologists and stuff, can take a really good and accurate guess at how it's produced. I mean, it's technically a trade secret how it's produced, but Pfizer made a vaccine that was so close to Moderna's that they're basically interchangeable, and they did not share formulas. So virologists can reproduce this pretty easily. We know the process. It's not that complicated. mRNA technology has been studied since like the 90s or something.
Oh, exactly what's in it. You know, those people, Biden, even Trump, any of these representatives, you know, they're not taking the real vaccine live on TV when they pretend that they do. You know that they're not that stupid.
You do? You know that? How would you know something like that they wouldn't take a vaccine? I mean, why would they lie about this? I guess it's like a new world order thing, right? Where they're trying to take control of people like puppet masters. Maybe they can activate the graphene oxide in such a way that they can turn you into their slave or something. Where are these people's heads, dude? Where are these people's heads? So here's why we should talk about them. There's this thing called the Reawaken America Tour. This is the founder of it on the right, I believe, Clay Clark. He runs it anyways. They've got some real influential people there. You know what? I'll let Clay Clark explain it. This is from mid-December 2021. Reawaken America Tour is still going on, by the way.
Eric Trump has now joined the tour, and what that does, by Eric joining the tour, what that does is that brings people to the events that maybe think shows like yours and mine are crazy shows.
Yeah, I mean, I would call them crazy shows, absolutely. But did you catch what he said there? Eric Trump joined the tour. And it wasn't just Eric Trump. I think Don Jr. joined, and I think maybe they even got Donald Trump himself to make an appearance at these. And it lends credibility to these people. It lends credibility to shows that people would otherwise believe are crazy shows.
Shows like yours and mine are crazy shows because we share so much truth, Pete. You know, on our show, your show, Pete, is basically the show that covers the stuff that Fox News will not touch. I mean, anything that Fox News won't touch or Newsmax won't touch, that's what you cover. It's called The Truth. And
no, it's called absolute psychosis is what it's called, actually. It's called conspiracy theory.
And bringing Eric Trump to this event is now legitimizing what we're doing in the minds of many people. And so that's powerful. And I look for the momentum to continue.
And that is why I feel we need to talk about Pete Santilly right there. He's been legitimized in large part by the right-wing movement, by the Trump family, by other extremely influential people on the far right. And he's got a massive Rumble channel. I guess massive is relative, but let me just check. His big following isn't even on Rumble anyways. I believe it's on Telegram. But okay, he's got 60,000 followers on Rumble. That's pretty big considering that Rumble's audience is only a few 100,000 per month or something. I don't even know what Rumble is up to now. It's significantly smaller than YouTube. The fact that he's even got 60,000 is deeply impressive. I think I follow him on Telegram. Okay, he's got 5,500 followers on the gram. All right, I'm going to join that channel. Some of the stuff he says is absolutely unhinged. So anyway, that's why we talk about him, because he's been legitimized by people in the political sphere who already have some level of legitimacy. Listen to what he had to say early June 2023. Check this out. This is after Donald Trump was indicted on 37 counts for mishandling classified documents, espionage, and stuff like that, I believe.
If I were the commandant of the Marine Corps, okay, what I would do is order every single Marine assigned to the Marine Corps barracks to go grab freaking Biden, throw him in freaking zip ties into the back of a freaking pickup truck.
Boy, he likes the word freaking, doesn't he?
Okay, and get him out of the White House. I would order that right now. And if the Marines don't do it, as a matter of fact, can I call the freaking Marine Corps right now?
Yeah.
Dude, how many freakins was that? Somebody please tell me how many freakins we're up to now. Can you call the freaking Marine Corps?
Don't do it. As a matter of fact, can I call the freaking Marine Corps right now?
No.
Commandant of the Marine Corps?
I have to tell you something. If I was in charge of a department there, and let's say I was in the 3 or 4 star general level, I would probably walk in and Millie in the head.
He would take Millie out, literally, like, do something crazy. That's what he wants to do. To the leader of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is that his position? I don't remember what his position is. That is unglued from reality. I don't know what else to call it.
And I would aggressively take over the entire group.
Yeah.
If it were legal.
Right.
And I would take him out, and I would order an absolute.
Say that again,
I would have my
Nathan?
hit list. Yeah.
See, that's how they get away with saying this very obviously violent stuff, right? If it were legal. I saw the same thing not too long ago with this guy from the NIFB, Steven Anderson's little cult. He says, I want to legally, after a trial, put people in front of a firing squad. Put the LGBT community in front of a firing squad. That's what he wants to do. That's what they say. That's how they get around it. It's like the old 4chan meme where they say something really, really insane, and then they say, in Minecraft. I want to do this absolutely insane thing in Minecraft. I mean, this is like a known method of avoiding accountability that's been documented by the FBI and a bunch of other groups. If it were legal, he would want to do this. Right.
I'd have a hit list ready, and I would make them go after everybody that was on the list. The 50, the Dirty 51, Schiff, Pelosi.
He's talking about getting the Marine Corps together to go and take these people out that he's listing. This is insane. How are these people? Is this even legal? Like, direct threats of violence like this aren't legal, are they?
Schiff, Pelosi, Schumer. Literally nobody would be left when I got done. I would snatch them all.
How is this legal? This is insane, dude. That's after Trump's indictment for espionage. I mean, this is not his first time. His rhetoric is escalating. He's getting more and more extreme, but he's been on this path of getting more extreme for a while now. Late March 2023, this is after the Stormy Daniels indictment, where he was indicted in New York for, God, I don't even remember what it was now, lying on campaign records, using campaign funds to pay for something or other. I don't remember what it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're not going to stop. You must be mentally prepared because they're going to just keep doing it. They'll arrest your president. They'll take away your guns and ship them to the Taliban, of course.
Okay, wow. That went from 0 to 100 in like 3 seconds flat. How did we go from arresting somebody for breaking a law to taking your guns and shipping them to the Taliban? What?
That's what they do. All of you law-abiding citizens, by the way, turn in your guns and turn them into Mr. Frickin' Goat.
Dude, this guy loves the word frickin', and I feel like what he just said was really racist, but I don't exactly know how yet.
Turn him into Mr. Frickin' Goat. Taliban.
I don't understand, but I feel like what I just listened to was deeply, deeply racist or deeply bigoted or something. I don't know. I can't really make sense of it. I'm not sure if I should have played that or not. Wow, man. This guy is something else.
Joe Biden, the gun grabber.
What has Joe Biden done to grab guns? Nothing. He's talking about it as though Joe Biden has sent a military force around to everybody's door and is forcing them to drop their gun in a bag and then taking the guns back to the White House. And he's sitting poured all of everyone's guns into a big swimming pool area, and he's diving into them Scrooge McDuck style, like they're golden coins or something. That's what he's acting like. This is ridiculous. Biden hasn't done almost anything on guns. I mean, he can't. His hands are tied here. Honestly, the fact that he thinks that Biden is trying to take people's guns is just so many levels of disconnected from reality. I don't even know what to do with it. I mean, have we already seen enough disconnected from reality? I didn't think it could get worse than him saying that they're going to activate the graphene oxide by turning on the 5G networks. I didn't think we could get worse, but this is up there.
These leftist gun-grabbing Maoists, you will never have a peaceful resolution with. They're going to come and kill you.
Okay, how are leftists going to do that if all of the guns have been grabbed? This makes no sense. It is pure, unadulterated fear-mongering. That's it. That's Pete Santilly, baby. That's what he's been talking about, and he's been escalating more and more and more and more. That one was from March. This one is from early April 2023. Check this one out.
Every single one of you that's wearing a badge and a gun, be forewarned. We, the people, are rising. Serve us.
Sooner or later.
Serve us. It's not sooner or later. It's now. It's April 1st, 2023. And it's not by my choice. I'm escalating things because they're escalating, taking away my freedom.
This isn't happening. Who is they? Are they in the room with us right now, Pete? No one is escalating anything. No one is taking your freedoms away. This guy's literally describing, taking guns and going house to house and doing something absolutely crazy. That's what he's saying he wants to do. And he says, yes, I am escalating. I am calling for this thing. If it were legal, of course, because they're taking my freedoms away. What freedoms? What freedoms have been taken?
I wanted to wait till 2024. But no, they want to meddle in my election in 2023.
I think this is about Trump being indicted on the Stormy Daniels stuff. I mean, this isn't election meddling.
Not sooner or later. Now, I'm lighting the candle. Will you join me?
He's saying he's starting a civil war. He wants to start the civil war now, saying do it now.
This is Ceausescu. He was escorted out. And he was brought by the military, who refused to fire upon the squad anymore, on the crowd anymore. And the police stood down, and the military stood down. You in the military, you need to work for us and protect us. Ceausescu was taken to the concrete wall.
Dude, I have no idea what kind of fantasy land he's living in right now. This all sounds like deep lore that's in the QAnon world that I'm not privy to. And I know a lot about QAnon, dude. I follow some absolutely crazy QAnon accounts. If I don't know what he's talking about right now, this has got to be some deep, deep lore.
Ceausescu was taken to the concrete wall and executed as a symbol of what I'm talking about. I want to set up a scenario where the military and the police have no choice but to execute Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, through proper process.
Through proper process. See, that's how he hedges. He keeps everything above board and perfectly legal by saying through proper process. Legally, of course, or in Minecraft.
I'm not in charge of that. I know what I'm in charge of, my vote. And I think I share a lot in common with 150 million other people that don't want communism.
Communism was never on the table in the U.S. If you thought it was, then you live in an alternate reality.
And if we come together and we say that the military and police are to set up a law that requires, when you get overthrown by we the people, and a constitutional restoration happens, that you should be swiftly brought to a concrete wall and hold a little hearing and fire away. I hope that you listen to the people.
So he's saying if you don't do exactly what he says, then he's going to order the military, who's most definitely on his side, to take you out. That's basically what he's saying. I mean, I guess it's not any worse than what he said in early February 2023 about Pfizer. Seriously, how has this guy not been arrested for the things that he's said? There's a line with free speech, right? I believe in free speech. To my dying breath, I believe in it. And I will fight for people's right to speak, even if it's vile language. I believe free speech doesn't exist so we can talk about apple pie. It exists so that speech that is not very popular can be spoken. I believe in people's right to stand on a street corner and scream like a lunatic. But there is a line, and the line is endorsing violence, calling for violence in some way. I don't care if you say in Minecraft afterward, or legally, of course, or after due process. I don't care. It means nothing to me. You're calling for violence. It's what you're doing. And in my opinion, at that point, the point that Santilly has already passed, you should be arrested for that. You can't say certain things. Yelling fire in a crowded theater. And I think one of the things you shouldn't be allowed to say is, you shouldn't be allowed to stand in front of a gigantic audience of 30,000 or 60,000 or 100,000 people and say, somebody needs to do something about blah. It's called stochastic terrorism.
Filthy Pfizer Satanists, okay? Triple boosting people, bunch of satanic, chimeric parasite injecting, snake venom peptide eugenicist.
Wait, peptide? Eugenicist, snake, what's?
Eugenicist, disgusting people. It's time. You know what we need to do?
Ooh, here we go.
Pfizer is just a manufacturing plant for Satan. Okay? We need to shut that friggin' place down. Shut it down. Destroy Pfizer now. Do it now. Do it now. Go over the wall. Get into their freaking buildings. Unplug all their freaking equipment. Let's go. It's time to storm the Bastille, is it not? Huh? Oh, that's illegal. Really? They're killing people and bragging about it and sponsoring this freaking crap right here. They should be shut down for sponsoring this level of Satanism.
It was just a Grammy performance that he's talking about here. And yeah, Pfizer sponsored the Grammys. Oh my God. Seriously, he lives in an alternate reality where people are being killed. They're not. And he's using that as a justification for violence. How is it not illegal what he just said? That is illegal, right? There are lines to free speech. You can't directly call for violent action. And isn't that what he's doing? Am I wrong? Am I incorrect? Is he not calling for violent action right now? Storm the Bastille? Somebody do it now. Do it now. Get into Pfizer. Climb over the wall. Unplug their equipment. How is that not illegal? How is he still on air right now?
For sponsoring this level of Satanism that should never occur here on Earth. Pfizer corporatism must be destroyed. Must be destroyed.
So, yeah, that's Pete Santilli. Absolutely unglued from reality in every way. And he seems to be escalating since Donald Trump, indicted on those 37 counts for the documents. The reason I'm talking about him in the first place is because there is an undercurrent of MAGA extremists. It's a group of people that we are not really paying attention to. We pay attention to like Fox News or Newsmax or One American News Network or something. We watch that stuff for the crazy things that they say. We're not thinking about the undercurrent that exists about the Pete Santillis and the Julie Greens and the Hank Kunnemans and the Kenneth Copelands. These are people who have supported Trump to the death and will continue to support him no matter what. Spread conspiracy theories to their little pockets of extremists. This is the undercurrent that exists. This is the MAGA world. Fox News could go either way, DeSantis or Trump. They like to hedge their bets. Newsmax is pretty pro-Trump, but you get the occasional dissent on there. These people are the real MAGA nutcases. These people are the ones that really influence the MAGA movement. That's why we need to talk about them. Anyway, let me know what you think about Pete Santilli in the comments. I think he is unglued from reality, and he should honestly be in jail for some of that stuff that he said, really.